Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are going over the spell Call Lightning. We're giving this spell a C+. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. Okay, C+ for this. It's not one of my favorite spells in the world. There's a couple of reasons for that. We'll get into that. But first, it's usable by Druids, Tempest-obeying Clerics, Circle of the Land, Forest Druids get it for free, and Oath of the Open Sea Paladins also get it. So, it is a third level spell that requires concentration. And do you want to concentrate on this spell? Well, if you're going to get any use out of it, then you might, if you're going to cast it, you might as well concentrate on it. The only problem is this spell takes your action every single turn to use. And, being concentration and hogging up your action is just not, I don't think that this is the best. It takes one action to cast, which is good. It has a range of 20 feet and a 60-foot area, 60-foot radius. So it's huge. You can only cast this spell. So if you look at the first sentence and the first little paragraph, the spell fails if you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear. You make a big storm cloud, and then lightning starts coming out of it. And if you can't see any part of the storm cloud, then the spell doesn't work. So it essentially doesn't work indoors unless you're in a really, really, really big area. Remember, 60 feet radius is 120-foot diameter. So that's a big, big spell. So this is pretty much, it's very niche. You're only going to be doing this outdoors. So the spell does last for 10 minutes. Because it's a combat damaging spell, you are probably never going to have to do this for 10 minutes. I can foresee if the party is in a situation where you're in a battle, like a mass battle in a war or something like that, then you might want to, do this for flavor, to have your party start to take out enemies more and more, but you're never going to use this for 10 minutes. It's a dex save, which is the best of the physical saves that you want to have, but again, a lot of creatures have high dexes. Does lightning damage? Lightning damage is not the best. There's a lot that is resistant to lightning damage. There are a lot of creatures like flesh golems that if you do lightning damage to them, it's going to heal them. So when you cast a spell, choose a point you see under the cloud. A bolt of lightning flashes down from the cloud. So this is when you cast it with your action. Each creature within 5 feet of that point must make a dex save. So you want to pick you're going to pick a square, and everything surrounding that square adjacent 5 feet is going to need to make a saving throw. They're going to take 3d10 lightning damage on a failed save and half as much on the successful. So it's not that much damage. It is on average about 16 points of damage, and then 8 points on a failed save. On each of your turns until the spell ends, you can use your action. That's the problem, is it hogs up your action. You can use your action to call down lightning, targeting some other point in the radius of the spell. It covers a wide range, so you have that, but you have to use your action every single turn. And there are better spells, especially if you're a higher level druid, than this one that you want to be throwing out with your action every turn than this. So if you're outdoors in stormy conditions when you cast the spell gives you control over the existing storm, and you do an additional d10 of damage. So instead of 3d10, it does 4d10. And then you can upcast this, and you can add a d10 on it. So if you cast it at 4th level, it does 4d10 or 5d10 in stormy conditions. So that's another niche kind of environment for this spell and circumstance, is stormy conditions. Now, all druids can use this spell, but particularly Tempest druids, Circle of the Land forest druids get this for free. But for the druids, there's really not a good druid class that can use this, in my opinion, because all these druid subclasses are doing something else with their actions, or they need to concentrate on something else. So if you're a druid that summons stuff, those summoning spells all require concentration. So you are not going to have a summon creature up and have Call Lightning up at the same time. If you're a wild shape druid, then you're going to want to be using your attack as whatever creature you're turning yourself into, and that takes an action to do. So, you won't be using your action to call lightning down. So why even have cast a spell? Other than you can have the spell going while you're in wild shape, but and maybe there's nothing next to you to attack, or you can't get to anything, so you could use the call lightning instead, but you won't be using it every turn in that instance. So Circle of the Land Druids, there's really nothing that kind of complements this. They get this natural recovery. They get an extra cantrip. Here it is right here on the forest list. It's an additional spell. They get Land Stride. They get Nature's Ward. I mean, nothing really goes along with this. For the next one, it's the Cleric Tempest Domain. Now, this one actually does complement this spell. So you get this when you get 5th level as a spell on your choice. And then when a creature within 5 feet of you can see hits, so this is at 1st level, they have to make a dex save or they take 2d8 lightning damage. You can't use this a bunch of times. You only use this a number of times. You can use Wisdom modifier. This has nothing to do with it, but it's kind of flavor that goes along with it. Now, this works once, unfortunately. Well, this works as long as you got Channel to Divinity. So when you roll lightning or thunder damage, you can use your Channel Divinity to deal max damage instead of rolling. So you could choose to, if you cast this at 3rd level in a storm, it would do 40 points of damage or 20 on a save once with a Channel Divinity. At 6th level, when you deal lightning damage to a larger, smaller creature, you can push it 10 feet away. So that happens all the time. So that actually complements this very well and allows you to move creatures. Divine Strike really, this takes your action because you're using a weapon attack. So this kind of complements that. Now, there's a Paladin class. This is a Matt Mercer class. I'm not going to really talk about this too much. And there's nothing really that complements this. They just get the spell. So all in all, I think it's probably a cool spell to get at 3rd level for a 3rd level spell when druids can cast 3rd level spells at 5th level. Other than that, I don't really like the spell too much. And so that's what I got for everybody today. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I will catch everybody later.